Hi, how are you? Good morning. Um, I am actually have another thought on mind here. This thing called diversity. I'm currently in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and what I've noticed is that there seems to be this practice to say that there's this thing called multiculturalism and diversity in Canada, but that doesn't even exist. If you look at broken families, you look at like poverty, you look at very low paid employment, that's where you see a lot of like diversity in so-called black community members. Um, I've been in a couple places, and they have these structures that they call public infrastructure, and they're typically unionized environments. And if you actually go and see what these environments look like, you only see diversity at front line, but you actually don't see diversity throughout the organization. So that is evidence of actually discrimination, racialization, and a lot of reason for even international communities to look at how um, us, I shouldn't say us, but how the global economic north actually practices their own principles. There's something in Canada called the Canada Constitution, which is basically a behavioral agreement. And some of us just have common courtesy, and culturally, we know that we treat people with respect, and we fight for or we stand up to injustices. And other people, they have no sense of brain-wise. It's like their brain can't even. I don't even know what it is, but there's things that people do that we don't even think to even remotely do. So they have this thing called a constitution, which is basically some kind of guideline to say conduct yourself according to this. And as I said, they're guidelines. So you have this thing called diversity, and I don't see any of it. I was actually in a government or a government building or department, and it was actually the Ministry of Transportation in Ontario. And I'm going to make this I'm going to call out these people because they're very disgusting. I was actually in the minister's office, and at the front, they had a person wearing a hijab, looked like she was Arab or India, from an India background. And then they had a black person who spoke, she could have been like Cuban, or spoke like a heavy, or maybe it wasn't even Cuban, but she had a very heavy accent. And you saw the diversity at the front, but all the offices and behind the scenes was all Caucasians. So I don't know what this diversity thing is in Ontario, and I find it quite disgusting because I wasn't raised in Ontario. I came from another province, and even though there are problems in that province, the problems there don't even come close to what exists in Ontario. So I'm starting to look at these interprovincial dynamics and saying to myself, what's going on between these different provinces? And globally, from my background, my ancestral background, I'm looking at, how the different diasporas actually respond to things such as this. So what exactly is this diversity? It doesn't even exist. And to those that are in these union environments, it's pretty disgusting when you see how some of these people behave. Even to listen to how they talk on the phone is very, very disgusting. So I'd like to know, what exactly is this diversity thing when you don't even see it? And how do you actually begin to try and move motions to eliminate everything related to unions? And you know what? People just go in and apply, and they get paid for their effort. Some of these people in these environments, I'm not sure what exactly they're doing. I think they're just there to collect a paycheck, but they're not actually there to see themselves as servicing the public by being respectful to the public. So this diversity, what exactly is this diversity, and how do you actually address these inconsistencies in this systemic diversity and its activation of that throughout an organization?